I'd like to say a little bit about Douglas's generosity. I was given his book on having no head when I was 21 for my birthday, and I hitched up from the south coast of England to where Douglas lived in Nacton, and because he'd actually kindly put his phone number at the end of the book, so I was able to call him up, and with a friend we hitched up there and spent the weekend with him, which was something he did nearly every weekend, invited people in who were interested in this particular approach. And it mainly at that time, it was hippie types, college types like me, who would wash up there. And we would do various workshop activities, and Douglas would talk about his insight to us. And they were wonderful times, wonderful memories. And one aspect of it was the food. The hippies would sometimes bring a gift of a special flan made with organic ingredients or something like that. And but nobody ever replenished the bread or the cheese or the basics, you know. And I remember Douglas one time saying that he and his son, who I don't think particularly was into headlessness, were staying there, and all they had in the larder was a jar of squid and some leftover Marmite, and everything else had been consumed by his friends and visitors. And so I recall that we had a big discussion about it, and people thought this was wrong, and that people should, rather than just bring random items, if anything, that they should contribute something, monetarily. And a big debate ensued about whether, for example, couples would get a reduction on the fee, and this went on for a while until we all noticed that Douglas had gone missing. And when he came back from what presumably was a walk, he came into the midst of us, and he said, "I've had a wonderful idea. Let's make it free." And we all fell for it because he presented it as such a new, innovative idea. We all fell for it, and then did a double take and thought, "Oh, well, that's how it's always been." But Douglas that was typical of him. He opened his home, for anyone to turn up, and it was really where all the experiments were devised by trial and error. People would try things out, and they would work or not work, and one other thing is that I noticed a couple of times that Douglas had washed the headlights and wing mirrors on my car when I later had a car. And he would do little generous practical things like that, which really, told something of the man. And he did admit that he gained out of all these visitors because of, as he said, there was some self-seeking in it, from his point of view, because it was his lifelong project. Okay. But he was a really, really generous guy. Thank you.